Live. Amazing. We are live. So while I wait for my family members, let's just share. Let's see going to be the first person on my live today. Whoosh! G-Day is first. My leader, what's up? Hi fam, how are you? Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear me. Then, hey Mayo, a couple goals. This one is a couple goals tours. Hi people, how are you guys doing? Just I totally appreciate if you can let me know that you can hear me. Okay, did I see your hand? That hand doesn't mean that you can hear me. Or is to mark your presence. So you guys just let me know first before I start to chat away. PB is here. Afternoon, ma. Timmy is here. Hi, Timmy. How are you? Ogauzo, how now? Good to see you. Good to see you. Pastor BC, good afternoon, ma. How are you? Hi, Taiwo. Hi, Taiwo. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Hey, Moji. Moji. Hey, TY. What's up, mama? Hi, sis. How you doing? Well, I have very great people that are coming up early today. TY, you need to be consistent. I'm calling you out. You have to change. I'm calling you out right now. Meaning that next month too, by 4 o'clock, you are here. Okay, bye. Hi, Moji. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm coming to your DM very soon. We have some things to discuss. I'm coming there very soon. It's good to see you. Hi, everyone. How you guys doing? Thank you for being here and being here so early. The way you guys always just come early is very encouraging because I've had a very long day. This day today, I just had to, just put the face to glam small so that we will not, that stay sign that they say that we don't look like what we have been through is what I experienced today. What I experienced today. Hey Male, how are you? Welcome sis. Welcome. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Even our guest is here and she is early. Thank you, Timmy, for being here. So I'm just doing my normal hi to everyone, and then we would start. So how you guys doing? How's your Sunday? How was church? Did you go to church? Or my own was amazing. That's all I can say. That's just all I can say. Hey Hobbs, you're logging in with another sign in. I mean, what English will I say? But welcome, husband. Totally welcome you. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to hit ground running. I'm going to take the opening prayer, and then I'll just talk a little bit about what we're doing today. I'll read my guest profile, and then we'll just hit the ground running. All right, so shall we pray? Thank you so much, my sister. In Jesus' name, God, we're so grateful for today. Thank you for how good and kind you are to us, how amazing you are to us, how you love us so much. Thank you for another edition of Fair Talks. Thank you for what you're set to do today. Thank you, today's session will be amazing, it will be powerful, it will be inspiring, it will change lives, it will transform lives, and we'll be better for it in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for answering prayers. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. So, my people, today we're going to be talking about something really interesting. Remember last month we talked about, so this last quarter, right, the focus is on health, right, anything health, right, and last month we talked about people that I'm always looking for the right word to call them special people, right, people with special conditions, and it was such a very inspiring and interesting topic, and I had someone come and he shared from his heart. He shared with us how he had, what he has been going through, how he has lived all his life, how people have accepted and those who did not accept him, how the stigmatization was, the foundation from his family, how his family have been of good support, but how in Nigeria he didn't get such support, and when he traveled out he got such fantastic support, and how he feels like not a lot is being done for those people in that category. It was just a very amazing time, and I know that a lot of people, really enjoyed that session, because I really did. It was emotional, it was life changing, it was a lot, and it was really great, and it really, we achieved what we had planned to achieve. Now today, right, I'm super excited about today's one. Hi Olami Kuye, welcome. We're going to be talking about something that is totally important, right? And I don't know if there's a lot of information about it. The thing that we always hear is, if you're AS, don't marry AS. If you're just marry AA. But I know that there's something about sickle cell, and it kills people. It is totally important, and today we have the privilege not just to talk about it, but talk about it from a personal experience, right? And I really look forward to this session with Timmy. My conversation with her, I think about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, was really, really amazing. Like, she shared a lot of stuff, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it, and even much more. People are going through this. Is there enough information about it? Is there a way to manage it? Is it that people, how do they even live, right? People that are sickle cell, what goes through their minds? What is it? Everybody that has to die from it? Is there a way to manage it? After I get to a certain age, are you free from whatever it is that comes from it? It's just a lot that we're going to be sharing today. If you know someone that is suffering from this, or maybe you, or I don't want to do what's suffering, maybe someone that is sickle cell, right? Because a lot of people that are sickle cell are doing amazing stuff, and they are living and they are thriving, just like Timmy, right? So, but if you know anybody who needs to hear this, you can just tag them, send this link to them, or maybe after you send it to them. But trust me, today is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to start. But before I bring Timmy in, I'm just going to go through her profile. She has such a very beautiful profile, and I want you to listen to it. Timmy Edwin is the founder and CEO of Crimson Bowl Sickle Cell Initiative. You need to follow that page. I follow the page, and the stuff that she is doing, that she has been doing, is amazing. Like, you need to go there and see what they're doing. Now, she is a sickle cell woman with 14 years experience in the corporate field that cuts across HR, finance, business development, procurement, administration, and consular duties. She has a BSc in Mass Comm from Covenant University, an MBA from Business School Netherlands, a certification in non-profit leadership and management program from Lagos Business School, and a fellow of African Women Entrepreneurship Corporation, AWEC, and Leap Africa Senior Innovators Program. You see what I mean by whatever it is you're going through, don't need to limit you. Some people don't. Some people are AA, and in my mind, they haven't achieved. Like I said, her profile is totally amazing, and it's even very encouraging and challenging, right? She is the PR head of the Coalition of Sickle Cell NGOs, the NCD Alliance Non-Communicable Disease Ambassador, the editor-in-chief of Our Views, Our Voices newsletter for people living with NCDs. That's non-communicable diseases. She won the Hall of Fame award at the 2018 Nigerian Volunteer Awards, was a nominee for the 2019 International Sickle Cell Advocate by Sickle Cell 101, her Woman of the Year 2019 in Community Service and Resilience Award winner for AWEC 2019 Fellowship. She has tirelessly worked to ensure that thousands of sickle cell individuals are medically, emotionally, and financially impacted. She's the brain behind all our projects that have ensured that thousands of people are impacted. With her help, our organization has won 2 international grants that are useful in advancing the sickle cell cause. She also tirelessly creates awareness for the sickle cell condition, while ensuring that many have received free genotype and blood group tests across Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, and Mina. She is an advocate for sickle cell policies. Guys, I'm about now, and I'm super excited about what is about to happen here today. People's lives are going to be changed. People's lives are going to be blessed. People are going to, yay, TVs, yeah. Hi, TV. It is so good to see you. Let me show. Do you want to speak out so that I can make sure that I can hear you? Okay. Okay, Timmy, we are not hearing you yet. I'm sure there's just a little bit of network glitch from your side. So we're just going to wait a little bit. So while we're going to get Timmy back, or while the network stuff tries to get sorted out, how many of you know your genotype and your blood group? Like you can beat your chest and say, "Oh, I'm very sure." Now I'm not talking about people that are praying, and saying that we do look alike. Thank you so much. Okay, so Timmy's just going to join us back once our network is sorted out. Welcome everyone again though. We're going to be doing something really interesting today. So yeah, how many of you know your genotype? Not the one that I'm praying and I'm carrying my picture to the altar, and I believe that as I confess it's to change from SS to AA, be from AS to. I'm not talking of faith something. I'm talking of you've done it, like and you're 100% certain that I know what my genotype is, I know what my blood group is, and then I'm sure that I'm going to be safe. Please, hi Timmy.
Hi, Ife. How
Yeah,
you doing?
I hear you now. I hear you
Okay.
perfectly
Can you
well.
hear me
Someone
now?
said,
Is it better?
yeah. Someone said we look alike. Wow.
Yes, I saw the
See?
comments.
So we are
That's a
twins.
compliment because you are very pretty.
Thank you so much. And just the way you are super pretty. It's true. We have the same age self, the same gap tooth. It's true. Yes, a little bit of
And we are wearing like
resemblance.
same glasses.
Same
We
glasses.
all yeah.
Amazing stuff. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for accepting to be here. Thank you for honoring the invitation. Thank you,
Thank you for
thank you,
having
thank
me.
you so much. In fact, I'm genuinely excited about today. Like, I
Thank
cannot
you.
just wait to hear all that we need to hear, because it's not just about sharing your story, but people will hear this and they will be blessed, and then lives will be transformed. People will learn, people will be encouraged, people will be motivated, and then the knowledge gap, if there is any, because I'm sure there will be a lot, we will be able to bridge it to a good extent for all of us.
Yes.
Everybody here is there to learn. So welcome again. Great to have you. Thank you for
Great,
being here
great
one
to
more
be
time.
here. Great to
Awesome
be here.
stuff.
Sorry, my camera is going to shake a little bit. I'm trying to adjust my.
No, that's fine. That works.
Okay, but I'm hearing you.
Awesome.
You can
Great. So
continue.
I'll just allow you to do like a general introduction. Who is Timmy? What do you do? What do you like? Just like you go for an interview and they say, tell me about yourself. So yeah, this is the tell me about yourself section. So just tell us something fun that we want to know about you.
Well, who is Timmy? Okay, Timmy is a child of God. She loves God genuinely.
Awesome.
Timmy is a go-getter. Timmy loves junk food.
Oh my God.
Yes, I love a lot of junk food. Timmy is passionate about the sickle cell cause. Timmy, I mean, you've already read my profile. I'm trying to say something that is not on the profile.
Yeah, I know, right?
Timmy produced a short film that has she's afraid to release. Even though it has won some awards internationally. Timmy loves to have fun.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
She's very sociable, but she can be very shy as well.
Timmy, let's talk about this film now. What's going on? What's happening? Let us publish this movie now. Let us watch. Let us enjoy something. So, what's the movie about? Do you want to tell us like a background story?
Okay, so the movie is about sickle cell. Okay, let me start by this. I've always had a passion for going into Nollywood. Yes.
Me too. Take me with you when you are going, please. Let's go together, please.
Hi Isaac. I've always had this thing about going into Nollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was thinking of a storyline, of course, so it's going to be the first of many I hope to produce.
Amen.
But while I was thinking of a storyline, what better way to enter Nollywood through the social issue that I'm vested in?
Yeah.
Of course, eventually, I'm actually interested in producing movies or films that are about social issues.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's sickle cell today. It could be rape tomorrow. It could be anything really. As I get inspired and motivated.
Right. Amazing stuff. Okay, so we'll just wait for Timmy. This network has nothing on us today. It's going to be an awesome session. Hey, Ashe, I have a Nollywood star on my live today. Okay, yeah, you're back now. It froze for a minute. So we hear you
okay,
now.
this a background about the movie. Okay, the plot is about without giving too much away, it's about couples, what people do that, you know, so it's not even so much about the sickle cell individual, but about the people affected by this. You know, it's not just the bearers that are affected by sickle cell. Family members are affected as well. So I shot this movie was from the family perspective and the reaction of the family to the people, the person living with sickle cell. So I yes.
Wow. Actually, we would all totally love to, what's it called? I mean, watch that movie. Please, we beg you by the mercy of God, help us to publish it. Help us to bring it out. Like, help us to really bring it out. We can't wait.
I hopefully will. My director is really on my neck. Maybe this December.
Yeah, you really should. Please, you really should, right? I mean, because I know that apart from, conversations like this, and then people learn through what they see. So apart from watching movies for the fun of it, there's always a lot of knowledge to get from, seeing movies. So you should really think about it. I beg, help us to. Let me in December. It'd be a nice way to spend Christmas with the family. Think about it. We will push you. I'll be your DM. I'll be DMing you. I say, hello, ma, please help her with the movie. Can we watch this movie? All right, so let's hit the ground running.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's just have like a background or maybe definition, general. What is sickle cell anemia? When people say sickle cell, what really is this thing called sickle cell?
Okay, sickle cell anemia is an inherited blood disorder, that affects the red blood cells. So, the regular red blood cells are supposed to be round, but sickle cells, sickle red blood cells are like the name sickle. They look like a sickle, which is like a moon, something like this. Yes. So what happens is that the blood produces a lot of awkward shaped red blood cells that are rigid, stiff, and cause damage pretty much. So usually, because red blood cells move through the veins easily, they're supposed to move through the veins easily, but in sickle cell they don't. So sometimes they get clogged. When they get clogged, that's when the crisis happens. So usually when someone says, oh, my arm is hurting, or my leg is hurting, or my back is hurting, it's the cells are clogged. But sickle cell is even, beyond the red blood cells. The red blood cells flow through the whole body. Sometimes they damage organs as well. And if not picked up early enough, causes death.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's how people end up dying sometimes.
Yes, that's how people die. Sickle cell in itself is, I would say, it's not a I don't want to, I would like to say it's not a death sentence, but if not paid attention to, can kill. It's a serious, it's very serious. Usually, we like to say it's not a death sentence because of the stigma attached to it. But thank God for medical advances. Thank God for information out there. Thank God people are researching themselves what it is about. It can be managed. And people that live with it can live very fruitful, healthy lives.
Wow, we're going to get to that. Because that's what a lot of people want to know and learn today. It can be managed. Let me just note that down. Right. So so let's come back to you. So obviously, your definition, you said it's an inherited, right? So that means that so what's your own pairing like? What did you inherit? That put it that way. What's the perfect way to ask?
Okay, what did I inherit? Okay. So my father is AS, and my mother was SS. So there's a very interesting story around my birth.
Right.
Yes, that I didn't find out of until a few years ago. So what happened was my mom was a very pretty woman. She was hot. She used to go to a lot of parties. She used to dress well. She had a car. All the things a single woman, in her days, should have had. But unfortunately, she was getting disappointed quite a lot by men. They'll break her heart and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So in those days, she started dating my dad. Not really. She didn't even have. There was nothing really serious going on with them, but she happened to fall pregnant. And then
All
at
right.
that point, before she even fell pregnant, it was sort of like a thing. Everyone had told her that even if she gets married, she should not have any children because it can kill her. But when she now found out that she fell pregnant, and against everybody's judgment of, oh, let's abort this baby, she decided that even if she's not going to get married, she's going to keep the child.
Right.
And thankfully, so at that point she asked my dad that, oh, what's even your genotype? And my dad says he doesn't know.
Wow.
So they went to check his genotype, found out that it was AS. Then she got worried. But she gave birth to me, and I'm happy she did not abort me. I mean, she gave birth to me, and then my dad at the same time thought, oh, this is a woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. And then they got married.
Wow.
And so, then after she gave birth to me, especially when I started having a lot of crises, a lot of people used to castigate her, especially the doctors, like, Madam, what are you looking at? How can you know what the pain is, and how come you brought someone into the world that has sickle cell? But honestly, she showed me a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of attention. She put a lot in me that armed me for the world, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the decision she made.
Amazing stuff. So I love that. So now that means that it was from she didn't know your dad was.
So it was an S. Yes, it was one S from her SS.
One S from
and then
from
S
your dad.
My father's
Yeah,
AS.
yes. At least I know that, but I know that bit of biology. So yeah, I get that bit. So your siblings, like in your family, are you the only one with SS, or do you have any other siblings?
Oh yes, I have 2 other brothers, and they are AS. Yes.
Oh wow, there is. Okay, amazing, amazing. So as far back as you can remember, how were those crisis period like for you? What is a typical crisis like for an SS person?
What is a typical crisis like for an SS person? So the thing is that crises come in varying they come in different forms. Sometimes it's a minor pain you can manage with pills.
Okay.
And sometimes it's something that you have to be hospitalized for. So it's just pretty much like a lot of pain or pain that starts out in one part of the body and sometimes spread, and sometimes not. Another thing is I've also gotten to realize that crisis doesn't always come out as pain. Sometimes it comes out as I don't know how to. So sometimes it comes out in like that. Sometimes it comes out as another condition. So for instance, sickle cell can cause things like kidney disease. Sickle cell can cause things like avascular necrosis, which is death of the bone. Death of the bone happens in the shoulder and the hip. Sickle cell could come out in form of I know someone who became dumb and deaf through sickle cell. Yes. Wow. Sickle cell could come out in form of like me, I wear glasses now. It has affected my eyes.
Right.
It comes out in varying
forms. Okay.
Yes.
So basically it's pain. This crisis pain that people always say is actually pain.
It's pain.
Oh,
yes.
Right. Do you know something? I always thought it was like when they said they're always sick every time. I didn't even know it was just pain. I thought it was like maybe they had typhoid and they just always falling sick. So
okay,
so there's knowledge.
Yes. So the thing is that there could be different things that cause this pain. It could be malaria, it could be typhoid, it could be infection. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just stress pain. Do you get? It could be your PCB is low. PCB is like the level of blood. It could be that you're anemic. So many things to cause, but it usually metamorphoses as pain.
I mean,
so when it comes out as pain, they find out the root and then they treat it.
They treat it, right? But you that you're falling ill, you can determine where the pain is. Like you can say, oh, it's my hand, so the attention is on the hand. Or is it something that is not even easy to what's the word? Identify, especially by the person who is sickle cell.
Yes, it's a bit of both worlds, really. For instance, on Monday this week, So I had known that I'd been waking up tired prior to Monday. I could feel it. I wasn't in pain per se, but I could feel my body, breaking down. And then on Monday, the pain shot through my body. So if you would have asked me at that time, where are you feeling the pain? I would not be able to describe it. All I knew at that time was it was shooting through my body. Do you understand? Yeah, so it comes on in very
comes, right.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. So when you were younger, how did this affect your academics? I mean, as a child, school, how did it affect you, your interaction with people, and all that stuff? How was that phase like, especially with school?
Okay. So primary school, I was a happy-go-lucky child. Like I had a lot of love around me, my parents, my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles, my brothers, love. Then in GS1, I was naughty, which was quite unusual. I was typically a good child.
Right.
This time around, I don't know how I missed an assignment. I skipped an assignment, and then I got flogged. So they called us out. In those days, there was a lot of flogging in secondary schools.
Yes,
or in schools. So they filed us out, and they started flogging everyone 6 strokes of the cane in the back. And I, feeling like I was a normal, regular child, went out too. I could have as well just said, please don't flog me. I have sickle cell. And it was even quite funny then because everyone was in pain, but I thought, come on, you feel pain every time, you can shut this pain out. That's another thing sometimes we warriors can do. We know how to shut pain out. So I shut the pain of the flogging out of my body. In short, at that point I was getting hailed by my classmates, like, how can you
just
all this beating? Yeah, exactly. But what happened was at the 6th stroke I now fainted. So I wasn't feeling the pain, but I fainted. My teacher then panicked, carried me from the floor and took me to the sick bay. And after then, it was like there was this unspoken rule that please, whatever it is, don't ever touch her.
Yeah.
And that I was supposed to be living the life, right? But my classmates didn't understand it at that time, and that was the beginning of me being bullied. So they didn't understand why I will miss school but get special treatment. I will be called. Another thing is, after that incident, my principal and my proprietress, that's the owner of the school, will call me from time to time to just check up on me. Oh, how are you doing today? Are you okay? And that was all they were doing, but people just saw it as special treatment. And so I started getting bullied from my GS2 till what? SS1, SS2. I was a miserable child. I had extreme low self-esteem. I had, another thing that didn't help was I had, I was a late bloomer. I didn't develop.
Okay, good time early, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that also made me, go into my shell. I was always like, why would you praise me, God, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So because of the treatment I was receiving in school every day, there was hardly any day that I won't come home crying. I was also always falling ill. So another thing about me is, anytime my state of mind, I think it's quite a number of warriors as well. We call ourselves warriors. Anytime our state of mind isn't right, before ill. So anytime we are low or down, it affects us. So I was very sickly. I was now finding it very difficult to cope in school. I was, I didn't have any friends, and coupled with the fact that I felt like I was like a nutcase, or I don't know what, so it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah.
Even though in SS3, I made up my mind that I needed to change the narrative, which I did.
Awesome.
What happened in secondary school followed me into university. And in university, I was a shadow of myself. I never wanted to step out of my room without a friend. I didn't want to be seen. I was just like, let me just get to class and manage through class. So I think.
Okay. It's getting very interesting. Oh my God. Okay. Timmy is buffering here, so we're just waiting to hear you again. I think it's network at your side.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better. Can hear you now.
Okay. So, like I was saying, this followed me through university as well. I remember that as I was about to graduate, my relationship with God had to firm up because I knew that I couldn't do life after school without Him. I had lived like a shadow all through from secondary school to university. I didn't want to live life like that anymore. And yes, I did a lot of prayers. Like I prayed a lot in university, especially my final year, especially about my future and everything, which God answered, thankfully. Because I remember being specific about the kind of job I wanted in my final year. I remember being specific about the kind of life I wanted, and God answered me to the T. You know, so this confidence, grew, and I I left school and I decided that I will never let my health rob me of anything anymore.
Yeah.
It had robbed me of enough, And so I decided that, okay, yes, I still fall ill, but when I'm not ill, I make the best of life. So that has been my motivation through life.
Awesome. Just to make a farm, you talked about how living in the shadow of yourself. Was this as a result of the fact that you were always falling ill, or the way people made you feel, the bullying, the maybe stigmatization or whatever it is? What exactly led to that? You now, reclining and trying to be alone and not being in people's faces. What led to that?
So it was more of the stigmatization, really, at first. But after a while, I can't tell, it was both. Like, okay, I'm being stigmatized at school. I fall ill. I miss school. I come back to school. I struggle to catch up. So it was just a whole lot.
It was a lot.
So struggling to catch up with my schoolwork was one thing. Another thing was, the stigmatization again backing at me. I knew that I could do a lot better in school than I was, but it was just a bit too much for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about this stigmatization bit, because I feel like this is also one thing that makes it more difficult for people living with sickle cell to even believe or be encouraged to do better. How exactly, what was that like for you? What are the specific things people, and I want to just buttress on this stigmatization thing. What people say to you? How did they make you feel? What were their remarks like? Because I'm sure that whatever your story is like the story of a lot more people. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to bring like a lot of people here, but as in, what exactly are the things that people do to people with SS, like last month now, when we had the Today come to share with us and all that, he said a lot about stigmatization for his own, health issue. But I really want to know how the stigmatization with people living with sickle cell, what exactly it is like. Do you want to just share with us how that went?
Okay, so when I was much younger, I was called things like a rat because I was smallish. I mean, I'm still petite, but I know that I'm bigger than some people,
Like
tiny.
Networky.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. I think I know where network goes, so I'll just pause
Okay.
when it happens.
Okay, cool. Great stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I was called things like rats. Like I mentioned earlier, I was late to puberty, so I was always called like man chest and all that stuff. I mean, the names were not pretty back then, so I lived with this for the better part of my life. And then when I started to work, because first of all, I finished school quite early. And then you can imagine like a 21-year-old looking like a 16-year-old. Then I'm at work, my colleagues are angry, they want to bully me.
Gosh.
The same main things. But that one I quickly stopped. You saw this one made me mean. I became very mean. I moved from timid to mean. So I found out that once the bullying started coming and I shut them down right there, it stopped. So this made me go through life for a few more years as a mean person.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I had this defenses up. Apart from the stigmatization at the workplace, I also remember this happened like 2 years before I finally became an entrepreneur. I felt ill quite a lot that year, and being ill means missing work.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I think my boss just got fed up, and he told me, I knew that my appraisal was great because we did monthly appraisals.
Right.
I knew that I was topping my team at that time. I had privileged information. But when we were doing the final annual appraisal, he told me to my face, it was like, he can't work with me anymore. I have to resign.
Wow.
So that day, I went to, I had this work sponsor. I won't call him a mentor. He was more like a sponsor because he brought opportunities my way. I went to my work sponsor's office and I just burst out crying. Wow. I was on the floor, I was crying, I was a mess. And I told him exactly what my appraisal was like. And my sponsor told me a few words that day. But one thing he told me was, I should fight it. I should threaten that I'll take them to court if they sack me.
Wow.
Which is what I did. I mean, I eventually resigned from that job. In short, I resigned like a month later. But I resigned in such a way that I had bad negotiation powers. They gave me another job. Wow. With lesser hours and with 60% of my pay. So my hours I cut by half. Okay. But I was able to bargain that I didn't want half my pay. So sickle cell has made me lose quite a lot. But on the flip side, everything works together for good. Yeah. Because I ended up working. That was when I started working with the consular, the embassy. Yeah. I was like a consular officer, and at the consular officer job, I got great opportunities. I was able to travel for training. I was, noticed. Amazing. And so many things, and I got connections that is now helping me with my NGO. Do you understand? So sometimes life seems to suck, but they suck for a reason. Amazing, for a reason. Wow. I totally love that story and that journey. Thank you for sharing that. So at the beginning you said something that living with sickle cell doesn't mean death. That you talked about, and I want you to talk a little bit about managing. Somebody or people, because people are here who would who probably are living with sickle cell. They know someone or people who are living with sickle cell, and even till now they are still confused on how to manage the situation. They can be parents, it can be a family member, a friend, whatever. When you said management, what do you mean management? How can this be managed? What do people need to know? What do people that are even living with it? And then from the people living with its point of view, and then the people around them point of view, what's the best way? What are the best ways, to manage this thing called sickle cell? Okay. So let me first of all say that information is power. Yeah. If you're in the blind up, if you are in the dark about something, you will not know what it is. I remember I was dating someone I was about 25, 26-ish. And so one day he calls me and he tells me that I should not think that sickle cell affects me alone. It affects all of them. That I have to rush me to the hospital. That it's just as much stress to them as it is to me. Right. And he was like, you need to get better. I don't know how you're going to get better, but you need to get better. Yeah, wow. He sounded a bit mean, but I didn't take it as him being mean, but I felt he spurred me. So I got desperate, because I pretty much was sick, like sometimes twice a month, sometimes every month. But there's no month that would not land me in the hospital. So I got desperate, like I said. I started asking. I had a cousin then who was in medical school. She wasn't even a doctor yet. I remember asking her that I'm desperate. I'm too sick. What do I do?
Mm.
And she started doing her own research. So as she was doing her research, I was doing my research too. I went on Google, I started, and then funny enough, my cousin, she was in America at that time. She's a Nigerian, who was living in Nigeria. She told me about this hospital in Lagos. I didn't even know that there were sickle cell specialized clinics.
Wow.
So yes, you would think that doctors should be able to treat any ailment, right?
Yeah.
But people that specialize in it can treat it better.
Yes.
So by going to that clinic, it was not even a hospital, it was a clinic. By going to that clinic, they asked me a million questions. Usually it was rigorous. They did a lot of tests on me. But when the treatment started, my life turned around. So I stopped being sick from every 2 weeks to being sick maybe once a year.
Wow.
I wasn't even sick for the first 2-3 years.
Amazing.
And it still happens to me till now. Like, I would say that maybe major, anything that will take me to hospital, I haven't really gone to the hospital more than once or twice a year. Wow. Do you understand? So even if I fall ill, I know I'm stressing, but I got to find out that there are vaccines one can take to prevent a lot of the illnesses. I mean, a lot of the things that cause the crisis. There are drug medications one can take. There's a lifestyle one can live. So I started living a good life, or I started living according to, but my mom didn't. You get, I mean, she did it for her own, for whatever reason at that time. So the thing, like I said, information is power.
Yeah.
It pays to go for checkups. You don't have to be ill to go for checkups. Just schedule it into your calendar. It's not convenient. Do you understand? There's some tests one to naturally run. There's something called full blood count one to run. Full blood count is like pretty much everything about the blood.
Yeah.
To tell you your blood level, to tell you if you have infection, to tell you your palate level, so many things.
Yeah.
Another thing that seems to that affects a lot of warriors are organ damages. So one thing that a warrior can do is to check. Now, the two major organs that can fail are the kidneys and the livers because they're working over time, especially because of the drugs we have to take. So we need to always check: are they functioning right? Are they optimal? My mom died of kidney disease. I don't want to die of kidney disease, so I will always do a kidney function test. I will always do a liver function test. Yes, and the thing is, kidney disease doesn't just start. It may start as an injury to the kidney. It could start as an infection. When you catch these things and you treat them, then you go back to living a normal life. Why must you wait till you are stage 3? Another thing in this kidney disease, one will never really find out about it until they're like stage 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit too late. You should be put on dialysis at stage 3 safe. But Nigerian doctors don't put someone on dialysis to stage 4. So there's a lot of information out there. And thankfully there's medical advancements too. And we just have to keep praying. One of my prayer points, in short, it was a mentor of mine that made me realize that one of the prayer points one has to pray is there has to be a solution soon. You have to pray it out.
100%.
You have to pray the solutions out.
100%, yeah.
Do you understand? You have to, I mean, when you start hearing, sickle cell in the next 5-10 years should no longer be anything anyone has to worry about.
Yeah.
If there's an advancement somewhere, I could just take a pill and my genotype changes.
Wow.
Do you understand? But that pill has to be produced. So I pray it into production.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. And then another thing with my line of work is, like I said, information is power. We need to research.
Okay, Dora, I'm sure Timmy knows that network is bad and she's just sure to come and join us. So we're good. A
lot of herbs can cure or should be able to reduce the kind of prices one has, or increase the quality of life one has. Like now, thank God, everybody's saying beetroots, everybody's saying, but thank God there, people are beginning to discover some vegetables that are good, People are beginning to say, oh, Zobo is really good, drink it. I don't know what's the English word for Zobo. I can't even remember now.
Hey, Zobo not the English name.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, what is this one? I can't even remember right. Okay, hibiscus tea or hibiscus flower.
I'll just stick to Zobo. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean,
wow, amazing.
Let me just end here so I can ask my next question.
No, but I mean, I think people want to know what hospital is that? I mean, do you want to tell us the name of the hospital? I'm sure that information will go a long way to some people. I mean, especially those who just are not even going to specialized sickle cell hospitals as of today.
Okay, I don't mind talking about it. I mean, really. Okay, so before I talk about it, I'll first like to warn people that it's quite pricey, but I'll give cheaper options.
Okay, good.
So the hospital that I talked to, yes, the hospital that changed my life around, or was the beginning of my life changing around, is Ashaju Medical Clinic, Ashaju Medical Center, in Victoria Island.
Where is that? Victoria Island, okay.
Yes, Victoria Island.
So guys, you can just note that down, and you can also drop your questions, I mean, so as she's talking, but you can just note that Ashaju Medical Center.
Yes. Then I also found out that they have a very good sickle cell. They have a very good hematology department in Lassus.
Okay.
Like they are good.
Right.
The doctors, I mean, the whole of Lassus and the system. But the doctors, especially the hematologists, they know their onions. And that's like a cheaper option.
Yeah.
Another thing is Crimson Bowl. That's the NGO that I run. We also have this monthly clinic, where people can come to speak to doctors. We run tests. We run, like last month, I was a beneficiary of the kidney function test that we ran, liver function test that we ran, because I wasn't feeling too optimum. And I thank God that I was able to run it through Crimson Bowl, because it saved me a whole lot of money when I had to go to, like, when I felt ill and I had to go to my hospital. So I was able to show them my test results and say, this is it, I know what is wrong with me. But another thing I want to advise people to do, especially people that have sickle cell, is they should have doctor friends. You are as good as your network.
Yeah.
You are as good as your network. Because one thing that led to my mom's passing, which I regret, is before I woke up and I started asking questions, it was too late. Do you understand? So the thing is, look, doctors are human and they make mistakes. I love doctors. They are lifesavers. But they are human and they make mistakes. They are overworked. There's a lot going on with doctors, especially in this country right now. So they may miss one or two things. So it's always better if you ask your doctor a lot of questions. Please, have you carried out this test? Don't be afraid that every time you go to the hospital, one test. Don't say, okay, you have malaria symptoms, let's treat you for malaria. No. It killed my mom because she had malaria. Meanwhile, her organs were shutting down. She was having malaria-like symptoms because she was having fever, but we didn't know how her organs were shutting down. By the time I started screaming, why are we not running tests? Why are we not running tests? The tests were off the chart, off the roof. And then all they could do was package us and refer us. Like we're not their problem. So by the time we were going to the next hospital, they tried their best, but they couldn't. Then we went to Lassus. The whole bed space situation started, and she died there in the car park.
Wow.
So please, one test, have doctor friends that you just share your test results with, because thank God test results are now like electronic. You can always just say, please take a look at this, or even if it's physical, just take a picture and show what you think this means, and you get your solution before your actual doctor is even treating. Then you can now, so many things. That's
Wow.
really the way anyone in this country should live life, not even just sickle cell people, you know.
I agree with you. I'm so sorry about the loss of mom. Like
Thank you.
totally, that just genuinely touched me there. Sorry about that. So there's this myth, and thank you for sharing those hospitals, because I mean knowledge is very key, and I'm sure that people are learning, because I'm learning too. Because I mean, because just like I said that, oh, my always thought it's just they're always having malaria, but now you're taking it even further, that sometimes it might be the person's organs that are shutting down, and we're just
Yes.
treating for the regular malaria. If you don't do proper checks and tests, you don't know. And I agree, Lasuth is a more affordable option, so people can really look into that. Wow, awesome stuff. There's this common saying that once you cross the age of 21, yeah, you're already okay and perfect. So how true is that? And I mean, when after you became 21, did you feel better than how you felt when you were younger and all that? I mean, how true is that line?
Well, it's a myth. There's so many myths that surround sickle cell. Some people say once you give birth to your first child, you are cured. Some people say once you start having sex, you are cured.
Hey,
I mean,
God.
there's so many myths out there, really and truly. But I think that I don't know why that myth started. Maybe people just realize that the older you get, the more you know what to avoid and what not to do. So the more
Okay.
you're able to manage your health. It's
Manage
like you're
it, yeah.
becoming your own. Yes. But
Mm.
it's not true. Mine didn't happen until I was 26-ish, you know. But that
Right.
it wasn't automatic. It was because I found knowledge.
Amazing. So it's not about the age, it's about knowledge and knowing how to manage it. Because
Yes.
all my life I've always thought and heard that once you're 21, you're okay. Nothing can happen again. You cannot be sick again, you cannot die again, blah blah blah. Wow. Amazing stuff. So how do you feel now? How do you feel now? I mean, now that you are more knowledgeable, now that you are better able to manage the situation, how do you feel looking back to where you're coming from and where you are today? I mean, can you tell us the difference in how you feel health-wise, emotionally, mentally, physically, everywhere? What's the difference like? How do you feel?
That's a big question, really. Because feelings, I mean, this is life, you know. So
Yeah.
life happens a lot, you know. But okay, health wise, I mean, I know that I feel better. I used to be sickly, then I'm not that sickly anymore. I'm much
Anymore.
better now. But
Awesome.
when I started to get a lot better, before then I had been like a workaholic. So like I mentioned
Right.
before that when I'm not sick, I'm working.
You're
You know,
working.
so you can imagine life after me finding solutions, quote and unquote. I became even more driven, always working. In short, if you ask like 10 people that know me, they say, Timi and work, she's very hardworking, very diligent. Those are the things that they
Everyone
used
says
to.
about you.
And then I realized that rest is equally as important.
Awesome.
You can work yourself to death, and that's not something to be proud of.
Yeah, true that.
Do you
True
understand?
that. Yeah.
Yes, and like things happen too. Like you lose relationships, you gain relationships. So like I said, life. I mean, yes, I feel stronger. I can just get up and go now. I feel healthier. I feel happier. You know, but
Awesome.
I've hit rock bottom emotionally and in life quite a few times
Nice.
after my discovery of my health breakthrough. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So for instance, I remember that at some point I had been dating this person. So as a matter of fact, he proposed, and then after a while, he unproposed. If there's any word like
Wow.
that, he broke up with me. You know,
Wow.
and while trying to, I mean, I was a shadow of myself for the year following because he broke up with me. So the thing is, we decided that we were going to go on a vacation. And we got to South Africa, which was on 26th of December. He broke up with me on 26th of December. We were not meant to come back till the 31st of December. So imagine those days, 26th to 31st. He went rogue on me. He started flirting openly, to my face. Started just doing lots of mean things. Said a lot of mean words to me. I got to realize that one of the major reasons why he broke up with me was because of my health. And so that set me, and I was like, but I'm strong. You know me. I don't fall ill. I mean, come on, But I told you about this from the onset. You were so all over me, blah, blah, blah. But he broke up with me. So yeah, I'm healthy, but emotionally I've been hit quite a few times.
Wow.
I've also met guys that say, oh, to me, you're just perfect. But if you are not SS, I would totally marry you.
Wow.
And that's something when I think about that guy or those guys. There are many things that just happen.
Awesome. I
just learned to live my life. Do you understand?
Wow.
I just learned to live my life.
Wow.
So yes, I have ups and downs. But
yeah.
Such is life.
Yeah. Wow. This one got me. Like, I wish we were in a relationship seminar right now. I have plenty of questions to ask. Like, why in the world did he take you to South Africa if he knew he was just going to be a jerk? What? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like,
no, it happens.
Wow.
It happens.
Wow. And I totally understand, this that you have just said has even, opened our minds more to some of the emotional, sometimes not even the health. Like, thank God you're doing better, compared to before. But sometimes it's not even the health that is killing people. Like, everybody will just assume that because person is SS, person has to die, person has died. But it might not even be the person's health. It might be the words that people use against them. It might be, and
yes.
that's what it might be the stigmatization. Like, how will you say, you're perfect if only you're SS? Like, I mean, if the person is doing well, your mom lives till over 60, right? So it's not like you said, SS is not death. And I feel like sometimes people are not sensitive enough to know what to say and what not to say. And I keep saying that if you don't know anything to say, just keep quiet. If you don't have anything good to say, just keep quiet. Like, you don't say some things to some people. Like, you just have to be very careful and sensitive on what you are saying to people. And that word alone, God, even me, that is not even me was said to, is affecting me. Like, wow, how would you say that to someone? So then now imagine the person was said to. Whew.
When they say people die of broken hearts, it seems like far-fetched. It seems very far-fetched. Like, I remember my mom telling me a story once upon a time that her aunt, so this person is like my grand aunt now, she died very early. And I asked my mom, how did she die? And she said she died of a broken heart. And I was like, please, what does that mean? Until I started having my own beach bash. My own bash goes to life.
Wow.
And I realized that I would never let what anybody says about me or to me stick on me. It's not about me, it's how they feel about themselves. I had to even remind myself of the time that I was extremely mean to people. What caused it was I was not happy. That's why I was mean and lashing out. So for anybody that has love would, love would not make you, no matter what. If you're a person of love, no matter if someone hurts you, you will not go back and try and hurt the person in the same ferocity. Not because you can't, but because it's just not you. It's not just your person. So for victims of stigmatization or bad experiences or emotional or verbal abuse, for victims of unfortunately, it's not something that can be taught. You get to a point in which you just realize it on your own. I can speak 1,000 words to you and try to tell you why you should not believe what someone said about you.
Yeah.
But as soon as I turn, you continue to believe. I remember that for the 1 year after.
This network should not do this. Not now, not now, not now. It's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Woo! Wow, guys, there's a lot. Okay, I think Timmy's back. Before I say what's on my mind. Wait, Timmy, pause. We are not hearing you again. The network, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
Okay,
I
great
think
stuff. Okay, you're back now.
okay, I think what I was trying to say was there was a time that okay, so after the whole breakup, it affected me so much. It wasn't even the breakup so much, but it was the words he said to me in those 4 days of vacation. He stuck on me like a leech. He stuck on me like lice on hair. I believed it. So for the 1 year after, I quit my job. I didn't have the ability to go back to work. I didn't have the ability to. My room was dark. I was on my floor. I wasn't even on my bed. I was on my floor most of the time, crying. I was a mess for a whole 1 year. A whole 1 year.
Wow.
I let someone waste my life. Do you get? But it was. I mean, sometimes you have to reach rock bottom to find your purpose. It was now 1 year I decided that, you know what, I'm going to. When I started getting my self-esteem back, that's how Crimson Bowl was formed.
Because that's my next question for you, right? So hold up. What brought about your, should I call it an NGO? I believe it's safe to call it that. You know, what led to that? Because reading your profile, you said, I think, was it 9 years I read? I mean, you were in the corporate world for a while, you know, and then you now have your NGO. What led to you bringing about that NGO, and how has the journey been so far? What do you do there? What is the NGO about? What is the aim or the vision? Who are you? What exactly do you guys do? But before you tell us what you do, what led to the invention or the startup of Crimson? Tell us about that.
Okay, so like I was saying, it was heartbreak that led to Crimson Bowl.
Wow.
So in that 1 year of me just crying and crying, I really thank God for my support system at that time. Like my parents, like my friends. I had some really, I had some really great friends in that time, you know, who I would just call in the middle of the night. I'll wake them up from their unbeatable sleep, crying and, you know, lamenting and repeating his words to them. He said, I'm this, he said, I'm that. Oh my God, how do I live life? I'm really this, I'm used, you know. And then one day, a friend of mine who just told me, he just told me, said to me, I have to tell you, they were actually very gentle on me, you know. They were very sweet with me. But this day, he came out, he said to me, I would like to tell you something. This thing is affecting you so much because you don't have anything you are doing. You need to get to work. I said, what do you mean?
That word.
Honestly, I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm not saying you should look for another job. But I know if you want to get a job, and you know the funny thing is, at that time my CV was quite powerful. But I was getting calls, so like come for this interview, I'll be not applying. So I knew that if I wanted to get back to work would not have any problem. But when he said get back to work, I said I'm not ready to go back to work. He said I'm not saying work like actual 9 to 5.
Did you resign? Were you out of work during that 1 year?
Yes, I resigned. I resigned at the beginning. I was out of work for a good year.
Wow. Amazing. Right done.
I was out of work, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get back to work.
Wow.
So I was doing my MBA. To thank God I was towards the tail end of my MBA when it happened. You know? Anyway, so when my friend told me to get work, I was like, oh, like what? I don't know, pick up a skill, anything. I don't know what it means. So I just started thinking, okay, maybe I will learn catering or learn sewing. And that's not a dig to anybody that's doing that right now. I'm just saying, I was just thinking, what could I do that will occupy my time? And then that was the era of BBM. So I now, as I was about to, I said, no, it doesn't feel right. So I just sent a BBM to my contact list there that, guys, I need your help seriously. I'm out of work right now, but I'm not ready to get back to work. I just need your advice on what you think, ideas on what I can be doing to while away time. Of course, there were a lot of suggestions. But a friend of mine, Greg, came to me at that time and said to me, he too also lived with sickle cell. He said to me, life has done us dirty. I mean, look at your story. Look at you right now. It's because of sickle cell. But before now, you lived a pretty good life, and so am I. Why don't we start like a blog or something? You know? And I was like, okay. I said, actually, meanwhile, like a week to that time, I started writing down, like journaling. But I wasn't even there was nothing to journal in my life at that time. I mean, I was not doing anything. I was just lying on my floor crying all the time. So what I started doing was I started reflecting on my life, and I started writing my life story. So I was like, okay, hold on. I started writing my life story. And yes, I'm in a very bad place right now, but I found out that as bad as life has gotten, God has always come through. And then he was okay, great, we'll start with your story, finish up your story. So I used the next few days to finish up my story. Okay. And then we started this blog. And then I put my story out. Of course, it was evolving around the whole sickle cell thing. And a lot of people started reading it. We started getting positive reviews. Lots of people started coming out with their own challenges. A lot of other sickle cell people started reaching out. And then from my story that was the beginning of the blog, we metamorphosed. We started writing, educational. Sometimes we put stories, sometimes we put information out there, sometimes we put scenarios out there, just about the sickle cell person. And when we were about a year old, I started thinking that it's about time that, okay, so we are going to be one. So rather than celebrate on the blog, let's do something for the sickle cell. I didn't even know there was anything like a sickle cell community, anything like that. I said, let's just do something for sickle cell people. And funny enough, I think I had like 20K. I didn't have a lot of money, so it wasn't like I had plenty money somewhere. And I said, okay, I'm going to pay someone's hospital bills. And then the Holy Spirit just told me that, you know what, tell people you want to pay hospital bills and ask people to donate if they want to. Yeah. And people started donating. And then we got this money. And I started saying, okay, you know what, I won't go to any private hospital to treat anyone. I mean, to pay their hospital bills, but I'll go to government hospitals where I feel like people really actually need it. Yeah. We started searching government hospitals. We didn't find one single sickle cell person. Wow. And then I just thought to myself, I know that we are plenty. So where are we? So I reached out to another NGO, and I said, oh, do you have any people we can pay? I said, oh, yes, so plenty. And then, anyway, I've tax beneficiary. I got to realize then that the warriors don't go to hospitals. They can't afford it. This person could not even afford transport fee to the hospital. She's been in pain for 3 months. I mean, I'm in pain for 1 day. I can't even stand pain for more than 1 hour. I'm in pain for 30 minutes. Please, oh yeah, take me out of this pain. Do you understand? Yeah. Someone is in pain for 3 months.
3 months. It's a long time.
Wow. And then her mom said that, she said something that really hit me. Said that I've been praying and praying for help. And then God told me a few days ago that He's going to send me an angel. And so there's something that washed over me. I'm not an angel. I'm not anything. I mean, I'm who God says I am. But I'm just a normal, regular human being. And right there in her block, in her building, she was able to point out like another 2 or 3 sickle cell warriors. So I was like, why couldn't I find warriors in hospitals? But I can find them. They are everywhere.
Everywhere.
People can pay their hospital bills. And so it was at that point we started to metamorphose from a blog to we got registered, and we started doing things. Started providing drugs, from drugs to empowerment, from empowerment to clinic. I mean, we still have this dream of running a day clinic, But it was because I'm not someone that. So when I started looking for funding, I wasn't getting funding, and I was like, you know what? Let's just start. Most people can afford. Then it was even once a quarter. It's only once a quarter we could afford because we are paying the doctors we bring together. We are paying nurses. We are paying we are buying medication. Yeah. So we started once a quarter. Thank God, God has been able to make us to once a month. But I still have this goal of we'll do a day clinic. So people can come in any time. Do you understand? Now we are buying health insurance for people. Wow. Now we are. I mean, We reached out to thousands and thousands of people,
Amazing.
creating awareness about the condition.
Amazing.
We've helped. I mean, God has just been great. God has used us and used a lot of people that work with us, to just touch souls.
In the clinic, right, you do health talks, you give drugs, you give medication to patients that are, there's drugs that are to subsidize, not subsidize, to help relieve the pain.
Yes, so what we do at the clinic is we get doctors, who do consult. So we do general health talks, but we have doctors. People have personal consultations with these doctors.
Okay.
They run tests. They run blood tests to investigate what is exactly going on with them. Then we give medication, all free.
Right.
So we give routine medication, we give pain medication, we give antibiotics, all as the doctor prescribes. We give pain medication, we give all sorts. Yes, at some point we had a psychologist come to see people one-on-one. We will still bring that back. They had a physiotherapist, because another thing that it affects bones. So physiotherapists come and help people. We had wound cleaning. That's something that affects warriors too. So we try to make it as quality as possible. But we can only get better.
Amazing. This is amazing stuff that you do. Wow. I'm so touched. I'm so impressed. I'm so proud of you. Like something that started like a heartbreak, like you said, pain, and then that just pushed you, and now, you're doing it like you're not even living with it. You're doing it like you're just been a blessing to the world, and it is so amazing. Where do you guys get your funding from?
Thank you. So at first it was a lot of personal. So I started when I was working, so I could fund some, and then I had friends, I had family who donated. So after we started building track record, we started getting sponsorships from companies.
Okay.
We still rely heavily on crowdfunding, because crowdfunding is really one of the ways that we keep afloat. But we also, thankfully, we started getting international funding. We got some thousands of dollars from Ford Foundation. To support the work we do.
Amazing.
Now we are metamorphosing into training.
Okay,
we want to start training medical doctors. So obviously, I'm not a doctor. I can't train medical doctors.
Yeah.
So we can employ professors to train medical doctors.
No doctors. And so that on how to handle sickle cell patients, right?
Yes.
Okay, great stuff.
How to handle sickle cell patients.
Wow, this is amazing stuff, Timmy. Well done. Like, whoosh.
Thank you.
On a typical day, how many people come to the clinic? Average.
What do you say?
On a typical clinic day, like what's the average number of patients you have?
Hundreds. Yeah, we have like about about 100 or over 100. It all depends. In short, right now we are growing. We are growing really fast. I see us. We have about 200 registered patients right now.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I see us growing even further.
Amen. Yeah. Definitely. Not just going further, even with patients, but even in your reach in terms of what you can even give back to people. Like you are definitely going further than that by God's grace, and the people that are going to be partnering with you, the grants you're going to be getting. Somebody asked a question that apart from what you do in your clinics, what about awareness on stigmatization, maybe in schools and stuff? Do you do anything like that?
Oh yes. So right now, this year alone, we've gone to about 10 local governments. So we work with local governments.
Okay.
We go to local governments. They bring their crowd. We create awareness about the condition, and of course, we bring in topics like stigmatization.
Right. Okay. Oh my God, guys, are you having a good time? And I'm having an amazing, amazing, amazing time. Okay, Timmy is almost back. Timmy, wait, you are buffering.
What do
Don't
you
go
say?
too far.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay,
network
okay,
was
okay.
bad, but I think it's better
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I was saying, that we work with local governments, we go to communities, we go to churches, you know, and as we talk about things not to do to bring in people living with sickle cell in the next generation, we touch on topics like stigmatization and whatnot. We also conduct free genotype tests to people who do not know about their genotypes. So you just
Yeah.
know that going forward, this is what you should try and avoid
Yeah.
when you're
Okay.
procreating.
Right. So you still advise people to ensure that AS doesn't marry AS. You still preach actively on that.
Yes,
Awesome
we do.
stuff. Awesome. Because people cannot say, since there's a way to manage it, that means that since there's hospital for sickle cell, that means if I fall in love and the love is strong, God, the love
Hey,
don't hook
I
me
mean,
like his love. You can
you
just
know the
marry
thing
and
is,
then
the thing is, you can advise, but people they can still be stubborn. So we will
yeah.
tell you that okay, if you want to marry, yes, there's ways you can still avoid bringing SS. So, but this
Oh
is the
really?
cost. Oh
Eh,
yeah, there are ways.
oh, tell us now. Tell us. Let us hear. Doesn't mean that we're saying you should go and do it, though, but this is just a bonanza. This is extra on the talk, right? So, really, so what do people do? I mean, especially for those who are already ASAS and they're married, right? So,
Okay,
what
so
do
they can. I mean, the first one is they can decide to adopt, not have children.
okay?
But this is Nigeria. How many people will decide
Everybody
not to
wants their own
procreate?
children, yeah.
Yeah. So another thing is they can do something they call PGD IVF.
Right.
So it's IVF, but it's not. It's with an extra. So this
Okay.
time around, instead of normally IVF is they'll bring the sperm and the eggs of the man and the woman and create an embryo and put it
Yeah.
in. But before they do that, they will test the embryos. So they'll try and
Okay.
create about 4 embryos. They'll
Okay.
test each embryo. The one that is SS, they
Okay.
discard. The one that
Okay.
is AS or AA,
Right.
they put back.
Right. Amazing stuff. Amazing
Then there's
stuff.
another one where people can decide that they will get pregnant and find out the genotype of the baby in the womb. Now, I'm pro-life. I know that there's a lot of people now that are pro. What's the other one? I don't know what it's called, but
Yeah.
the other pro, whatever it is,
Yeah.
pro-choice. I'm pro-life. I would never really advise. I feel like every child is a blessing,
Yeah.
But people now do the genotype test. That costs about 350K. So you go to Sickle Cell Foundation. They do that. They take a little bit of the embryo, the test. They let you know, okay, this is AS, this is SS, this is AA, and then you decide what you want to do.
Is that what you want to do? Amazing.
Yes.
Wow. Great stuff. So let me just ask one more before I let you go. So with what you guys are doing, right? What are your limitations? What are the things that have hindered you to achieving? Because I know that there's what you or where you want to see your foundation to currently be. So what are the current limitations? Even government, and all that. What are in general? What are the limitations that you're seeing as at right now?
There's funding.
Yeah.
Please, give us funds. Please, please. We need money. Give us
Yeah.
money. Red blood powder.
Please don't worry. We are here.
Yeah, but apart from that, there's something we're trying to do right now with the government. So there's bureaucracy. External bureaucracy affects us a lot. So it's not even just government. It's if you're trying to get sponsorship, we face bureaucracy everywhere. So that's a problem. Structuring the NGO was a problem, but we are getting around it. We're employing more people. People are filling positions because really, the dream I have for Crimson Bowl is to be at POW UN. UNICEF. Do you understand? I know it's a big dream, but it's possible. There is what else is the problem? Policies, government policies. Like you think you are doing right, and then they bring you one other policy that wants to shake you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you now have to start lobbying, writing letters to the Senate. Please don't bring this bill into do you understand? There's always like one boss. You know, there's our landlord. You know, who we don't believe in the same thing and it's giving us stress. So there's always one challenge or the other every day. There could be small challenges, there could be big challenges. There's always something. Do you understand?
Wow, thank you so much, Timmy. I mean, I wanted to ask this earlier. I don't know how it skipped me. Did you have fears when you were growing up in terms of, I never thought I could achieve it? I know that everyone has fears, but fears as relating to your, I know you would have overcome quite a number of those fears by now, but what are the fears you had then when you were younger, and how were you able to overcome these fears? Talk like you are talking to somebody who is currently living with SS, and then you can relate to their fears, and then how have you been able to manage or go past, these fears?
Okay, so one of the fears I had was I will fail at life, not be able to make anything out of my life, because I mean for the longest time, for many years, well, let's say for the first 20 years of my life, there was nothing really, attached to it. But first of all, God was like a major factor. I had to. So I live a life where I pray a lot more than I work. Yes, I work hard, but I pray harder. Do you get? Because I believe that God makes life easier. So let's do the work in the place of prayer. So God works. Another 100%. Fear I had was the fear of, recently it's been the fear of death. I've always had this confidence that I will live very long, because I was reassured by God that I will live long. But you see, when you lose, so I've been a patient or an individual living with sickle cell, and I've been a caregiver.
Yeah.
So when you see a life cut short in front of you, I still have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, from that night of seeing my mom die. It wasn't just that she just died. There was a lot of drama, that happened before she died. So, but I just had to keep telling myself I will live long, because you are what you say you are. Thoughts of negative thoughts will always come. Thoughts of failure, thoughts of death, thoughts of fear of sickness. Now I'm afraid to fall ill. That's a fear. Okay, ask me for a bit. Can you hear me now?
First, go down. Yeah, so you're back.
You can hear me now. Okay.
You can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay. So there is the fear of sickness. Like I don't want to go to a hospital. I don't want to be ill. I don't want to be, not because, but I think it's part of my PTSD. Of fear of, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, there's that fear. But like I said, you need to trick your brain. There's another trick I've learned. You can trick your brain to believe in what you want your brain to believe.
Yeah.
So fear comes, it whispers to your heart, but you can trick your brain into believing something else by continuously saying it. That's confessions. So confessions work. Like I remember at some points, I used to feel like I was going to be a failure, but I tricked my brain to believing that and now I believe it so much. I say it. People think, when I say it, sometimes it may come out as pride. It's not pride. It's a conviction. I know that I know that I know that I know that anything I put myself into succeeds.
Amazing.
So my NGO will succeed because I'm here.
Yeah.
My business, I have a business that I run. My business will succeed because I'm there.
Amazing.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I know that when this fear of thoughts of death come, I know that I'll be 90 years old. Irrespective of what. Do you understand? And I know that this fear, so I'm talking about sickle cell, but it affects everyone. As long as you're a human being, the devil will whisper a thought into your heart and make you believe that, but you can negate it instantly. Instantly. Could be the fear of poverty, could be the fear of anything. A lot of us are walking around with a lot of baggage from our childhood, baggage from where we are, what we've been through, so many things, but these things can be cured by confessions. So it starts out like you're not believing it. You have to say it over and over again. So you write it down. It starts out like, I'm just reading it. But it gets to a point when you read something the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, by the fifth day max, you get this realization and begin to believe what you are reading. It's no longer like a novel to you. So
amazing. Amazing. Wow, my God, that felt like a preaching session in church. Wow, but this has been like an amazing. I just knew that I've been saying it, that I've just been really genuinely excited about this session. I didn't know how or why, but I guess God knew in advance that this will be bigger than what we have even pictured or thought in our minds. Thank you so much, Timmy, for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so open. Thank you for even encouraging us while at it. Like, this has been such an amazing time. Like, it's total. I feel like just continue talking with you. We should not leave, but I know that time is far gone. I mean, I can even just pray that the Lord will keep blessing you. I mean, the Lord will keep making you stronger and stronger. It will be from glory to glory. In the name of Jesus, the Lord who has kept you this far will keep you, and everything that you believe and trust in, as you're trusting Him for long life, for your business, for Crimson, everything is just going to keep going better and better for you. You will be a voice to be reckoned with. That NGO is growing into something beyond your dreams. I mean, people are just going to rally around to support you, to partner with you in the name of just things to just keep working out well for you. And He will set you in every area of your life that you're trusting Him for one thing or the other. In Jesus' mighty name. Thank you so much for sewing. I mean, coming here. This has just been such a phenomenal time, and I'm so grateful. I know that everybody has learned. I know those who will still come back to the live to watch this would also be blessed. And I mean, just encourage. I mean, like, whoosh!
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So guys, you need to follow Timmy's initiative page. Now she needs that NGO needs money. Crimson Ball Initiative, I'm correct. That NGO, guys,
initiative. Yes,
we need to give. I know somebody dropped Aimbola Amuso dropped
Abimbola, I think she dropped
the link. Yeah. You can even still just do that again, right? So guys, I mean, we need to follow this course. I mean, people would survive this and they will live good lives. Not everybody has to die. You can be an SS person and still enjoy good life and good health as long as you have the resources necessary. And we that God has blessed can be a part of this. So if somebody wants to give to this, what do they do? Just send a DM and ask for the account details, or how does this work?
Yes, you can do that. We're also about to run a fundraiser for something we want to do in December.
Okay.
So you would also get our account details from there, but we're always happy to share our account details. You can send me personally our account details or
Amazing. So guys, I mean, she's having that networking again, but let me just say, so you can send her a DM, right? Or they're having a fundraising in December. So just in case right now the money is like, you can plan for it so that by December you are part of what they plan to do, and in order to give back to the society, or just specifically be a blessing to those who are living with sickle cell. So we're going to give to this, right? She has come to talk to us, to open our minds. If you know somebody who's living with sickle cell and they need help, they need support, her foundation is available for that. They do their clinics on a monthly basis. You can follow their page. I'm not telling you what, I'm following them, so I see they just had a session, I think it was last week or so. So I know, yes. And we follow their page. People can benefit from it, and they are not paying money. It is free, right? Because there are a lot of people who cannot, like I said, cannot go to the hospital because of lack of funds. So they are here, you know, being a blessing to people. So we can also be a blessing to them so they can reach more people. Because I'm sure these things are quite expensive. The tests, the drugs, getting doctors, and all the other logistics that goes around it. So I mean, we all just need to come out to support Cream Symbol.
And they can also decide to buy. They can also decide to buy health insurance for people living with sickle cell. So they could just reach out to us and say we want to buy health insurance for one person, 2 people.
How much is that?
So it varies. So another thing is we could usually, like, I know some people that have bought health insurance for some warriors, they wanted the best, so we had to find the best. But I know that health insurance can be as cheap as, I know that the NHIS is like 8,500, but I know private health insurance is like 60K or something like that, between 60 and 120 depending on the package. Yes. So it all varies.
Amazing.
Really.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Timmy. God bless you. This has been such a phenomenal time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So bye, Timmy. I mean, I can allow you go now. So I just chat together. Thank you so much.
Okay,
all right, guys. Bye. I mean, that was an amazing. I know you had a good time. I know you had a great time here today. It has been value for our time. The past how many minutes? Gosh, we learned a lot, and things that we would use, you know, to be a blessing. So this is Ife Talks, right? We do this every month. We talk about different things that cut across different areas of life: health, relationship, family, children, social issues, rape, abuse. I mean, we talk about everything and anything, as long as it's going to impact lives, transform lives, motivate, encourage, we do. So we always come here every month, every third Sunday of the month. We bring people that will come to share. So please follow me, follow this page. You know, apart from the monthly programs, we also do different things. Fair Talks, I mean, I host events, I compare events, and I've been having an amazing time doing that. We do trainings. I mean, it's just an embodiment of different amazing stuff, and it can only keep getting bigger and larger. Like, we have plans for 2022 already. Great stuff is going to happen. Next month will be the last month of the year. December is here, Christmas is here, and again, we're going to be talking about something so interesting. I can't even talk about it right now, but I promise, if you think that what we did here was phenomenal, trust me, next month will be totally amazing, and you don't want to miss it. Remember, it's just once a month we do this, apart from different things I share on the page, but it will bless you, it will help you with, and it will help someone that you know. I mean, you can share this video with someone that you feel like would need to hear everything that we have talked about. It's been an amazing time. Thank you guys for always coming out. Thank you for always supporting. Thank you for always encouraging. I totally love you all. Till I see you again next month. But of course, I'll be seeing you on my page with different posts and all that. Thank you for always engaging. You guys are amazing. And Ife Talks is here because you are here, because you engage, because you support and all that stuff. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of the month. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you again very soon. Bye, everyone. Love you. Enjoy your day. Bye. Okay.